Welcome, sports fans. Thanks for joining us. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Along with Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan. And joining us tonight, Emmy-nominated writer-producer Bill Simmons. Again, you're in the seat, and again, we're so lucky to have you.
I can't believe Brent Barry's here. How'd you get him?
And told him that you were going to come in.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of sushi. And told him you were going to join us.
Wow. Four of the greats. I'm so delighted to be here.
DA, it's all yours.
Sixers coach Brett Brown helped build this team from ground zero. There were some lean years in Philly, but Brown helped set the values and the culture for this team. Brown said, "Can you teach? Can you cultivate relationships? And do you bring energy? Those three qualities are what I've hoped to create throughout my tenure here." Kevin, mission accomplished.
He's done a terrific job. Thanks, David. So with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, you have two players who consistently look to score in the paint.
Yep.
What's the best way, do you think, to blend those two talents?
Trade Ben Simmons. I think that would be the best way. I don't think long term that this is a fit together because he can't shoot. And you can cheat it, and you can have him move off screens, and you can have him try to establish the fast break and all that stuff. But we saw in the playoffs, when everything slows down, they didn't know where to put him on the basketball court. And he basically became Ben Wallace in the mid-2000s, like sending screens for people and rebounding. And for Embiid, I want to surround Embiid with shooters. I want to model a team almost like Milwaukee did with Giannis. I want somebody who can handle the ball not only in fast break but half court too. And I just don't think they work together. I think there's a ceiling when you have those two guys as your best guys.
Now the opening lineup for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Chris Paul. And it's Ferguson in at the 3 spot. And for the 76ers, the tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. And so it's the Thunder getting on the board first. Horford the pass to Harris. Goes back up. Here's Embiid. Horford trying to free himself up. Adams, some nice D. Passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. And stolen by Simmons. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and it's Richardson slamming it down.
And that's what Simmons does. His vision and accuracy make him a premier presence on the floor.
And it's Oklahoma City's ball. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Pulls up on the wing. Here's Adams. They shoot again. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And Steven Adams does all of the dirty work. I mean, all of it, Kevin. A defensive anchor, and continues to play with tremendous energy on a nightly basis.
Oklahoma City shooting their first free throws of the night. And that one misses. They'll name a couple past superstars that didn't always get enough credit for being as dominant as they were.
Moses Malone would be my #1 pick. Probably the best player in the league for 5 years. Dominant in '83. They won the title in Philly. Really gave Kareem a lot of problems and was just awesome, and has now just been swept under the rug. Nobody even really remembers. So I would go with him first.
Ever.
Never. Well, it was part of the problem. They were tape delaying games back then, and we didn't have league pass. We didn't have a lot of that stuff. I think he was really underrated, and you kind of never know who's going to endure and who's not going to endure, which is one of the reasons I wrote my book.
Simmons, the bounce pass. The 9-foot shot, and Embiid gets it to go.
One of the more skilled offensive players that is on the floor here tonight, Kevin. Not an easy fella to hold in check.
The Thunder have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Paul finds Adams. Rebound by the 76ers. Coming into this having notched a win against the Rockets in their last game.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to their defense in that one. The intensity, the shot blocking, just a dominant performance.
Yeah, last game was pretty impressive stuff on that end of the floor, just getting up near shooters and blocking as many shots as they did.
Here's Paul. What a tremendous game he played against Cleveland. Puts up a three. That one's rebounded by Embiid. 76ers have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Coach is liking what he's seeing from his offense.
And guys, they put the defense on the defensive. Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Are you asking me, GA? I'm not sure.
Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Inside, here's Paul, and it's sent back by Horford.
Swatted by Horford. In terms of defense, Al Horford up there amongst the top.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
Ferguson misses. The 76ers leading by 5. And the pass to Horford. Back to Simmons. Clock at 6. And now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander, the fast break champs. And stolen by Simmons. It's Richardson on the wing. Floats it up for Horford.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
Yeah, they're like a 4-day-old soda right now, just flat, Greg. They're missing shots left and right and just not playing their best.
And a quick look here at some of the numbers for Horford.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage. And it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter.
Just cannot get anything to go. If there's going to be a way to get out of this hole, I don't think he'll be the one to do it.
Embiid. And the dunk by Embiid.
And right now, they're just focused on putting together good possessions.
That's exactly how they got the lead. They ended up having multiple possessions in a row with good quality shots, knocked them down, and the game is fully in their control.
Bill, you study pop culture. The 2K Esports League is a phenomenon right now, which is sweeping the country. Do you think that's going to alter the perception of gaming in any way?
Yeah, I would say it has one of the best chances of any sports league to succeed because people just love basketball. And you can feel it there in the off season. The shift in basketball content and the fact that it's now a 12-month-a-year sport for us. And now it goes from the playoffs to the draft to where people going in free agency. And then that plays out for a month, and then something else will happen. All of a sudden it's August.
Summer leagues are coming up.
Summer leagues happening, and then all of a sudden the season's close, and then you just kind of recycle, and it's a 12-month-a-year sport.
Yeah, right.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Ball against Simmons. Richardson outside. Here's O'Quinn. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. Bill, I wanted to go back to what you were talking about with the 2K League, and you mentioned how basketball has grown into essentially a 12-month-a-year sport.
For me, a 2K Esports League just makes sense. It fits into that. I think people love the players. I think they care about these athletes, just in basketball, so much more than the other sports. And for me, it's really gratifying because I've loved basketball my whole life. And for a while there. When I grew up as a kid, they were tape delaying the finals, and it was like the second-tier league. And now to see how popular it is and how much people love it, it's just, I feel like I was in early. I'm sure you do too.
Absolutely. I mean, when Magic Johnson is a rookie and starting at center in Game 6 in Philadelphia, yes.
And it was tape delayed.
And it was tape delayed.
My beloved Boston Celtics won the 1981 title, and it was on tape delay in Boston, and I went to bed, and my dad woke me up to watch the game for me, and it's not even 40 years ago. So I think the other thing that really helps with the 2K Esports League is that these guys play 2K, the actual players.
Yeah, right.
They
care about it.
They care about it. They have an incredible amount of time on their hands because they're too famous and they can't go anywhere. So they're in hotel suites. They're bringing with the PlayStation or Xbox
stuff
with them. They're playing their friends. They're playing each other online. And this is what they're doing all day.
Here's Horford following the basket by Chris Paul. With the fadeaway. And that one goes long.
Well, that mid-range, Jay, usually pretty much on the money. Maybe the timing just a little bit off on that one.
And Gallinari kicks to Gilgeous-Alexander. Oklahoma City moving it around. Gallinari wide open. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
I'm not sure how he finds himself in so much space there. He's kicking himself for whiffing a bit on that one.
Richardson the pass to Horford. Over Gallinari, and there's Horford. That's good on the assist by Richardson. Richardson's got his 5th assist in this one. And so here is Oklahoma City. They trail by 9 points. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And Gallinari kicks to Ferguson. Paul outside. Shot clock at 5. Miss number 6 for him. He's made 2 of his 8 attempts.
Maybe there are ways to contribute that don't involve shooting the basketball. That's the best way that maybe he can help them out in trying to win this game.
2 shots.
And Bill, we were talking about how so many NBA players are playing 2K these days and getting to play online against people you don't know.
Yeah.
Can't see.
I remember my buddy Gus, who I played a ton of video games with in the 80s. The first time we could play online against each other was like a really pivotal moment in both of our lives. Sometime in the mid-2000s. You're just like, this is amazing. You're in Connecticut,
How
I'm
can
in
this
LA,
be?
and we're playing video games. This is great. We've arrived.
First free throw is good. And Bill, we've seen more and more teams base their offenses around three-point shooters. Threes are at an all-time high. We know that. And should the NBA, that in mind, do anything to address this via any rule change, which I don't know what that would mean, but it has been talked about.
I don't like changing. I think it's going to manifest itself with it doesn't work in the playoffs as well. And teams are going to slowly realize like that you need to blend an inside-outside game at least a little bit.
Well, you can't lose what the game is.
No,
it's bigs and smalls, it's inside, it's outside. And
it's still passing and unselfishness. The Warriors take a lot of threes, but they're the most unselfish team we have, and they create a lot of layups, and they play, they're really creative. And you just can't, that just can't be your thing as we shoot 53s, here's our offense. The problem is you're still going to get in these games where 2 points really matters, and that's what you saw with Kawhi in the playoffs last year. These games slow down, it's going to be a 92-89 ending, and your team needs to get 10 baskets in the fourth quarter. No matter how you're going to get them, you still need somebody who can do that too.
Philadelphia shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night.
And how about as a group, 80% on the season, one of their best attributes. Shooting 2.
That free throw missing. Glenn Robinson, the third, is checked in for Richardson. Good on the second free throw. Here's Schroeder. He's coming off a 19-point game against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. Adams trying to free himself up.
How about the balance and body control? Simmons able to send that one packing.
Scott against Noel. Low block shot on the way. O'Quinn trying to free himself up. Scott can't get it to go.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
The shot's good from Robertson.
Well, I like watching Robertson get involved in the offense, especially when he gets down there. Nice soft touch down on the inside.
Schroeder against Simmons. And stolen by Noel. Here's Baisley. No points in the game yet for him.
Yeah, and checking out some stats here for Ben Simmons. Over the last month, he has been spectacular, averaging about 16 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds. And it says a lot that when we see numbers like this from him, we aren't even shocked. He's that good.
Yeah, we really have just grown to get used to his greatness, and that's the level for him that he's on right now.
The first free throw is good. You've been producing documentaries going deeper into athlete stories, which I know you love, because I think you're curious more than anything else.
Yeah.
So what drew you to that process?
Initially, it was we dove into these stories. We thought that was the inefficiency of, instead of these big, broad type of documentaries, concentrate on events and players and moments and things like that. And I think as you get into that and you start doing it, it just becomes intoxicating. And the cool thing about it is no story should be told the same way you would tell somebody else's story. You just don't know. You got to figure it out. Like we had Steve Nash, his last Lakers season. He wanted to do a documentary about it. And then we spitballed it, and we decided it was actually a better idea to do an in-the-moment digital series about it that you could experience in real time with the thing. And it was the right idea, and that was really good. I think trying to figure out what story clicks the best with an athlete, how to tell whatever story they have correctly, is the coolest part of it.
The Thunder have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. The first one falls.
Schroeder last year accepting his role of coming off the bench and being a scorer, so whatever it is the coaching staff is asking of him, he's willing to do it.
The 76ers making a switch here. Korkmaz is checked in. Schroeder hits them both.
Now you can tell he's feeling confident right now at the line, and when he's on, he can be lights out.
Here's Korkmaz. He's guarded by Schroeder. O'Quinn in the post. Adams on him. Another miss by Philadelphia.
How about that hard-nosed D in the paint right there? Nice job.
Yeah, he cut off every angle and then got his body on him. That's a Warriors effort.
Now here's Schroeder. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. 5 on the clock. Here's Adams. That one's not going to go. And it's Philadelphia the other way.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
Thunder trailing by 6. And it's Schroeder in the corner. Knocks down the 3 ball. Schroeder's got 5.
Well, not known as an outside shooter, he's definitely working on his three-point accuracy.
Bill, it's no secret that your heart lies in Boston. Just what was it like growing up in and around that area?
Well, it's definitely the reason I like sports as much as I do, because it's so sports obsessed. A lot of it is cold weather stuff, I feel like, where there's 5 months a year that just stink, and then there's 3 other months that, you know, it's just smoking hot and humid. And so the sports makes everybody kind of crazy because you're crazy anyway. But there's nothing like being in Boston when something good's happening, like Celtics making an NBA playoff run, or the Bruins making a cup run, or the Red Sox in September when the Yankees are coming to town, or the Saturday before a Patriots game. You can kind of feel it as the community of it. That's the difference between here and a place like LA.
It's formed you as a professional, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah. Here's Thibault, defended by Robertson. Korkmaz passes to Thibault. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Now that we have a second, take a look at the teams that have scored the most points off turnovers over the last 10 games. The 76ers third. Fifth on the list, the Thunder.
You know, it's been interesting to see both clubs really clamping down with their pressure on the ball defensively. I mean, forcing turnovers and then getting out to score.
He misses the free throw. And the Thunder making a switch here. Muscala's checked in. And he's good on the second. 1:02 left in the first quarter. Schroeder with the ball. He's got 5. Pass to Muscala. Fires from deep. Scott pulls it in.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Took the opportunity when he saw it. And the 76ers lead by 6.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Oklahoma City's gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. And here's Robertson. Noel dishes to Schroeder. Just 5 on the clock. A second chance effort and stolen by Scott. Here's Korkmaz, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. The 76ers have gone 4 of 6 so far from the line, missing a couple.
Shoot 2.
That free throw good from Korkmaz. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Now here's Schroeder. Oh, and he's going up for the alley-oop here.
A heady play there from Schroeder, zipping the pass to the teammate who had the cleanest look on the possession.
And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. There's a great friendship between Melo, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Paul. And Chris talked about where all that started.
It's been a sort of long relationship, you know, and obviously me, Bron, Melo, D. Wade have all really gotten really close. And that stems from the time with the Olympics, USA teams, and then just sharing a lot of the same likes and values and having kids and family and different things like that.
And you see that a lot nowadays. Star players developing friendships and GA spending time with each other off the floor.
Yeah, some people hate it because they want that bad blood you used to see, but no reason you have to hate someone to really compete against them.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the 76ers, what are your thoughts?
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Just a great job, really, of making the game ugly, trying to muck it up a little bit out there.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And so in the game for the 76ers, Robinson is out there with Mike Scott. Then it's Joel Embiid, and it's Thibault in at the 1. Bill, you look at the awards given out by the league. Most have been around for a while. But is there any award that you'd like to add? Something that's not being touched on in terms of high performance and success?
I think that there should be a playoff MVP. I made this case in my book.
That's a great idea.
There's always like a best guy in every postseason, and I would like to see who that would be. And it's pretty easy to go backwards and figure out who it was. I did that. Just go backwards and have all the backstory of who it should have been, but then going forward, now here are the ones we're adding. I would like to see that. I would also like to see a best bench celebration award, because certain teams just have these guys. They're good at pointing. They're good at fist pumping. First guy during the timeout running over.
Chest bumps.
They have handshakes.
All of it, yeah.
They're waiting at the scorer's table before the game to do the special handshake with each guy. I feel like that guy deserves some shine. Last year, DeAndre Jordan, I think, was one of the first guys I remember who was just great at this before he started playing. Late 2000s clips. It was like, man, this guy's really, he's not playing, but he's really figuring out how to affect the game.
Good. I like that. And he knocks down the first one. Gilgeous-Alexander's checked in for the Thunder. So he picks up just one from the line that time. And it's Schroeder with the ball. He brings it up for the Thunder. 7-point differential. And it's sent back by Horford. Here's Robinson. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Coming into this, having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
Yeah, I think they prepared to face more defensive pressure. In that one, didn't happen, and boy, they just rolled.
It took just a little bit of time, but once they figured out the D on that night, man, their offense was rolling.
And here are the 76ers now. The Thunder making the shot. Embiid, no good. Thunder trailing by 5. To the paint, here's Muscala. And the layup's good off the glass. Muscala's got his first 2 points of the night.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Josh Richardson has made himself into one of the top defensive wings in the league. Richardson says there's a certain competitiveness that comes with being a good defender. The defensive end takes will, and I have a lot of it. Kevin J. Rich is self-described as super competitive, and that edge is what drives him.
It sure is. That's what it takes. Thank you, David. And Bill, over a quarter of today's NBA players were born in a country other than the United States. The talent is that broad all over the globe.
And Giannis was born on another planet. We don't know what planet
He is
was.
otherworldly.
It wasn't Earth. I think he just got dropped from some satellite.
Oh.
Yeah, this all starts with.
I love it too, don't you? I love the fact we've got players from Latvia and Greece and all over playing.
What's cool about it is they all kind of have distinct identities and quirks, and one of the things that makes somebody like Doncic so much fun to watch is he's not like anybody else. Like, he's close to James Harden, but he's also that step back three that he was taking that he's been making his whole life. Other than Harden, nobody was even really shooting it that way, you know? And I think there's an unselfishness with the European guys that is really useful for the way the American style.
100% agree.
They really, guys move without the ball. It's give and go, and it's not just like clear out on that.
Yeah. Here's Embiid. The Thunder making the shot. 6 to shoot. Pass to Richardson. Lets the 3 fly. Rebound by Muscala.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
The putback. It's good on the putback. And the Thunder lead by 1.
Oh, great timing. He is one tough customer on that offensive glass.
You know, it's like he has a sixth sense of where that rebound is going.
Love seeing a point guard who can explode to the rim like that.
Oh, great attitude and even a better finish.
Well, just seeking out weaknesses in the defense and then exploiting it.
And the Thunder with the possession here. after the Sixers pick up 2. Noel passes to Schroeder, and stolen by Simmons. Here's Richardson, and Richardson slams it in.
Josh enjoying this and one opportunity. Good job finishing despite the defense knocking him around a bit.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Gallinari, he's checked in for Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Paul in for Dennis Schroeder.
One shot.
That's good from Richardson.
There's so much inside of Josh Richardson that is yet to be tapped into. An athletic shooting guard who can play both ends of the floor.
Now here's Paul. They count on his contributions, currently providing 16.5 points a game.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
Thunder trailing by 6. Passes it to Muscala. Now Gallinari, guarded by Harris. Shot to stop the run, and the rejection by Embiid. Outside, Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
I like seeing Josh Richardson distribute the ball, especially when his teammates are wide open. That makes for an easy pass.
Now Paul. Gallinari outside. Kicks it to Muscala. Gallinari against Richardson. 6 on the shot clock. And there's a whistle, and that's going to go on Simmons. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Noel. Adams outside. Paul outside. 5 to shoot. Over Simmons, and it's blocked by Simmons. Richardson attacking. Harris, a good finish at the rack off the slick feed. And now a 10-point Philadelphia lead. And so it's Paul bringing it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Their last encounter was in Oklahoma City.
A game they definitely felt they could win, and with a break here or there, they probably could have.
Maybe should have. The score doesn't indicate just how well they competed in that game. For the majority of it, they look like the better team.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
And doesn't like how things are going right now.
The timeout before the timeout here, maybe just to cut off the momentum and have a chit-chat with the team to settle down.
Now here's Paul. Gallinari surveying the D. The feed now to Muscala, and it's sent back by Horford. It's stolen. Paul passes to Adams. Trying to get something going. Good work defensively by Horford.
This feels like it's snowballed a little bit on them. The more he tries to shoot his way out of this slump, the worse it seems to get. They need him to get it together.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Thunder trailing by 12. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And Muscala kicks to Gallinari. Just 5 on the clock. Shoots from the elbow. And it's off the back rim. No good.
All the energy is on the other side right now, and every miss just makes it worse.
Well, the other team is scorching hot, and they come down on this end and can't find a way to get the embers going.
Here's Horford. Feeds to Embiid. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. Embiid's got the lead up to 14 now for Philadelphia. They're not having much success at all right now.
Kevin, I would shuffle the lineup if I were their coach a little bit just to try to find something that works.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
And coach can't be happy, and I think I know why. Their defense putting up no resistance inside.
No, they're not preventing them from scoring, and if you can get to a high efficiency shot on the floor, and that's the paint, you just keep going.
Gallinari finds Muscala. Paul surveying the floor. Shot clock at 6. Back to Gallinari. From downtown, Adams. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Embiid's got 8 rebounds in this game. And Simmons slams it in.
Well, for Tobias Harris to take this step, getting away from scoring and finding teammates to become a more adept passer, that's good signs.
Here's Ferguson. Richardson covering. The pass to Adams. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. And that's good. A nice job on the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
And with that much needed basket, he finally ends that 17-0 run by the Sixers.
Richardson outside. Pass to Embiid. Shoots over Adams. Embiid, no good.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
And with the pause here, how about the stats for Richardson? He's averaging 15 points a game, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. And he's done his share of the work for the team, definitely making an impact.
Well, the numbers, if you look at them, impressive all the way around, and he's not letting the team down.
So both teams changing it up here. He doesn't get the second one. The 76ers leading by 13. Here's Korkmaz. That one drops for him.
Unblockable shot unless they get a bigger man on him. And I'm looking at the roster sheet, Kevin. I don't see anybody bigger.
The 76ers have shot the ball pretty well from the line, going 8 of 11.
One shot.
Thunder trailing by 16. Here's Ferguson. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Cleveland. Clock at 6. Gallinari on the wing. Lets it fly from 18. And Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Here's Korkmaz. It's deflected. Swiped away. 5-on-3 break. Lobbed up there for Embiid.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Thunder trailing by 18. Paul with the ball. Pass to Baisley. There's the feed to Adams. And Adams with the slam.
Now, Gallinari at that size can do a little bit of everything, and I like to see him dishing the rock.
Philadelphia's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Simmons looking it over. 1:43 left here in the second. Korkmaz no good.
Even if you're not shooting it, you like to see the effort level, and his tonight has been high.
Andre Robertson, he's checked in for the Thunder. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Chris Paul. And so it's Gallinari with it. He'll bring it up for the Thunder. They trail by 16. So it's off to Brooklyn after this game as they have the Nets to look forward to. And that will conclude a 4-game road trip. Nice D from Scott.
I've not seen him shoot this poorly, guys, in a game this season.
And entertaining as always, Bill. Thank you so much for stopping by. We always appreciate your time.
Thank you. Just, I don't want to do any Celtic games. Can we not do that? I don't want to see that team. Let's do the other teams.
Okay. You know, Brent, it's a different kind of broadcast with Bill Simmons mic'd up. He lets it rip.
Well, the thing about Bill is he's not going to hold back. He has some great, strong opinions, and he backs it up with a lot of facts due to the fact that he knows the history of the game quite well.
Thibault can't get it to go.
And that's the only kind of defense that's going to cut the mustard here tonight. You got to stay on top of a guy like that who can play at such a high level offensively.
Now, here's Robertson. 7 points in the game. Shot clock at 6. And that one's good. Schroeder.
And despite the hot start from beyond, they've gotten away from shooting the triple.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And it's Simmons penetrating. Scott. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Gallinari finds Schroeder. From deep. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater.
Yeah, the hustle from Simmons on D, it becomes infectious. He brings his all on every possession.
A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Philadelphia ahead, up by 16. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, what is your impression of the first half?
That we played. And I thought we found a really good balance of posting and pace. It's what we've been talking about. And I thought our defense, for the most part, was excellent.
A good start. We'll see how they finish. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back. The first half mercifully coming to a close. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny's here. Shaq is here.
Right out of the gates, it was Philadelphia setting the tone. They scorched the hardwood with an aggressive style that put them on a 12-3 run to start. Much of their early lead was flushed down the drain, though, as they ended the quarter up by just 3. Then in quarter number 2, it was all hands on deck, and what a show it was. Quality execution, good efficiency, some tremendous defensive play helped them take a decisive advantage, and they're running away with this one. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
What a brilliant, unselfish half of basketball they just played. Their ball movement was absolutely impeccable. All in all, just beautiful basketball to watch.
And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Oklahoma City.
They relied way too heavily on the three-point shot in the first half. Their long-range game was off. That's my off sound, Ernie. They were off. But they still settle for the outside shots. They got to put more pressure on the defense by pounding it inside and attacking the basket.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. You look at Ben Simmons in this game, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
Yeah, this is showing that they're not going to play at anybody else's pace but their own.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Philadelphia leading by 16. And coming into this season, questions about whether the Sixers could retain their star players. Well, Greg, they shuffled the decks, but they still have great talent.
Swapping in Al Horford for Jimmy Butler, Josh Richardson for J.J. Redick. The Sixers still in the mix to come out of the East.
And on the floor for Billy Donovan as we get into the second half. Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Chris Paul is out there with Gilgeous-Alexander, and it's Ferguson in at the small forward position.
The defense better tighten up on the mid-range there. Much, much tighter. You expect him to make every single one of those.
Harris dishes to Horford. Horford double team. Simmons on the wing, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Horford. Now that we have a second, let's take a quick peek at the rebounding numbers for the last handful of seasons for Embiid.
On the boards, he's been a much bigger presence these last few years than he had been prior. And he can be counted on now to make an impact with his rebounding. And that's a product of all the work he's put in down low.
Now here's Paul. Left side Adams. Back to Paul. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Richardson covering. But they recover it.
Yeah, maybe a little luck, maybe a little bit of heart. Both of those at play here. He's getting every offensive rebound.
Here's Paul. Ferguson for three. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Harris has got 6 rebounds here tonight.
You talk about things at halftime, and then you come out and you go 0 for 3. I'm sure that wasn't up on the board.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the call. Oklahoma City with the foul.
You gotta admire the hard work by Simmons, a genius at drawing contact.
And he can't get the first one.
And this summer, a 5-year, $170 million max contract extension for Ben Simmons. The Sixers didn't want to give him any cause to look elsewhere. A great talent, but the hope with that kind of money is that he'll develop that jump shot.
Now, here is Gallinari. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
Well, if they got a favorite play, Kevin, it might be time to break it out. 0 of 4 to start it.
Simmons up again. Great positioning on the putback. And the 76ers lead by 19.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
And here is Gilgeous-Alexander. He's been a factor in their offense on most nights with his scoring average at nearly 16 points a game. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Well, when Danilo Gallinari came into the NBA, Brent, he was just a catch-and-shoot type player. But he's so much more than that now.
Well, I think with the way the league has changed with the three-point shot and Gallinari's ability to do that, he's gotten a lot smarter about picking his spots when the pump fake can drive in and draw some contact.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on the free throw. Brent, so many state-of-the-art arenas being built. Which feature do you think is most important?
Oh, the hot dog machine. What are we doing,
popcorn, right
and the
next to it.
popcorn,
Hot
what
dog
else,
and
Kevin?
then the popcorn.
Yeah,
It's right there.
nachos.
I love nachos.
Okay.
You love nachos.
What else? I mean, what else could we go with there?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah,
That's
right?
a big one.
Because when you're done with all that other stuff, you've got to somehow kind of coat your stomach.
Yep.
You
Was
don't
this
feel bad.
basketball related, or did we go somewhere else
All
with
a
it?
part of the whole conversation.
I think we covered it.
Well, maybe not the most well-known player in the league, but Josh Richardson has been a big source of offense, and Greggy's done it for a while now.
A bit of a specialist, but Richardson has no problem putting up and making threes.
That's good from Richardson. You know, Greg, for the Thunder fans, hard to see their star power dwindle, but they got a lot in return.
Yeah, but the Thunder were capped out. They hadn't made it past the first round in 3 years. And in exchange for Paul George, they got one of the richest trade packages in league history.
And Richardson drops them both. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Paul passes to Ferguson. Shoots the three. And Gallinari with the three. Gallinari's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And they get one. Now 1 of 5 here in the third.
Passes it to Richardson. Ball against Simmons. Over Paul. Nails the baby hook. And that's 13 points for Ben Simmons.
What a performance on the offensive end. He's making the defenders pay right now for all of the mistakes they're making.
Thunder trailing by 19. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, over the last few years, there's been a lot of talk about seeding playoff teams 1 through 16, regardless of conference. Now, taking the top 16 teams is a tough sell, especially for owners whose teams are in the relatively weaker Eastern Conference. But taking 8 teams from each conference and then cross-seeding earlier than the finals is something that does seem possible down the road. The reward for fans might be a finals matchup with the 2 best teams in the league. Kevin?
Interesting ideas, David. Thank you. Horford kicks to Simmons. Embiid in the corner. And the 3 off target. And Ben Simmons picks up the foul. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. And the 76ers making a change here. O'Quinn's checked in. And a switch here also for Oklahoma City. Noel's checked in for Ferguson. Paul outside. Over Simmons. Count it from 12. Paul's got 6.
Said it time and time again, Chris Paul in the mid-range is pretty much half the time going to be good.
And Simmons kicks to O'Quinn. And there's the pass to Harris. Fires the 3. It's rebounded by Paul. And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for the Thunder. 15-point game. Gallinari left side. And it's O'Quinn with the rebound. O'Quinn's got 4 rebounds in this game. Richardson the pass to Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
Crafty and smooth. Simmons tearing up the nets. He is definitely a rising star.
Thunder trailing by 17. Paul outside. Pass to Noel. Pass to Adams. Clock at 4. And O'Quinn sends it back.
Good reach by O'Quinn, getting to the shooter and reading when he was releasing it.
And Simmons kicks to Horford. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got his 4th assist in this one.
Yeah, he's going to knock that down if you give it to him. Uncompetitive there defensively.
The defense also looking defeated. The lack of hustle is driving the coaching staff a little bit batty right now.
Now here's Simmons. He's got 15. Richardson outside. Harris passes to Horford. And here's Richardson. From down in the low post, it goes. He's got 11.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Adams. Here's Paul. Adams down low. O'Quinn defending. Adams' shot is off. The 76ers leading by 21. Here's Horford. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Gallinari's got his 5th rebound in this one. And stolen by Simmons. And Horford with a clear path to the hoop.
Have to admire when a big man like Horford runs the floor gracefully like that.
Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Paul outside. Over Simmons. Paul with the bucket. Paul's got 4 points this quarter.
Clearly defensive miscue there. If there's not a body on him that's sitting at the mid-range, that's a defensive mistake.
Now here's Richardson. He's got 11. Philadelphia moving the ball around and finished off by Horford.
All right, Al Horford getting up there for the Jam. You forget how big he is.
Now here's Paul. Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
And when he gets ahead of steam, you almost feel sorry for defenders. Ben Simmons, a combination of size, speed, and ball handling that can at times be unstoppable.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Muscala, he's checked in for Steven Adams. Robertson comes in for Gallinari. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Chris Paul. Schroeder against Richardson. No good. Shot missing. And it's Philadelphia the other way. And with his passing and driving ability, Greg, Simmons is like combining a power running back in football with a pinpoint passing quarterback. Not much he can't do.
Kevin, a football metaphor is appropriate. Simmons grew up playing Australian rules football, and the physicality and quick thinking of that sport really reflected in his style of play.
Now here's Schroeder. He's got 7.
Well, we've seen Schroeder stepping up more as a distributor, leading this ball club now.
Philadelphia leading by 21. Now Richardson, 11 points in the game. Passes it to Scott. It's stolen by Muscala. Schroeder surveying the floor. Robertson can't hit.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Thunder trailing by 21. Here's Schroeder. It's hauled in by Richardson.
There's a little bit of pressure on him, but not enough to cause him to miss a shot that's in that close.
Ooh, just powered it down with both hands. You know he's not going to mess that one up.
Oh, no, not this fella. He is a superb finisher. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Richardson against Schroeder. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession. And as we check out this year's contenders for the dunk contest, we get a look at some of the showmen, the best showmen in the NBA.
And with the names on that list, you know we're going to have a crazy competition this year.
You look at Simmons. Some might say he's a long shot at this point, but you never know.
Hey, stranger things have happened, and we'll just have to wait and see.
So there you go. And as it's looking, this year's dunk contest is shaping up to be a fantastic competition. We'll keep you updated on the voting.
No doubt it's going to be a good one, Kevin. We've got players on that list who'll do things that you didn't even think were possible.
Now, here's Robertson. 7 points in the game. Cans it from downtown.
Wow, something's brewing, guys. The three-pointers just continue to flow.
Richardson kicks to O'Quinn. Over Noel. No good off the back of the rim. And so it's Schroeder with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Thunder. High arcing shot. That shot off. Nice D from Scott. O'Quinn the pass to Thibault. Back to O'Quinn. And the rejection by Noel.
Noel in there to intimidate and does so there.
Schroeder dishes to Robertson. Gilgeous-Alexander kicks to Noel. Schroeder outside over Richardson. The putback. And it's O'Quinn with the rebound. O'Quinn's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Richardson attacking. Misses in close.
Well, the D's so tight on him, it makes him alter his shot. And an easy chance turns into a tough one because the defense is swarming. Any possession that ends in a shot from that range after good player and ball movement, that's a good one.
Outside Robinson. Now the pass to Scott. To the middle and stolen by Noel. Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Muscala. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Scott's got rebound number 5 here tonight and stolen by Robertson. 43 seconds left in the third. Here's Thibault. Gilgeous-Alexander covering. Scott, their offense stone cold. Another miss there. Pulls from the top of the key. It's not going to go for him. And Philadelphia the other way now. 19 seconds left to play in the third. Outside Robinson to the left side wing. Here's Thibault, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
This is his 3rd trip to the free throw line in the game. First one falls for him. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. And stolen by Simmons. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. We come back right after this. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
That's what great passing will do for you right there, dissecting the defense with that play.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. We've got Mike Scott, Kyle O'Quinn out there with Embiid. Then there's Ben Simmons. And it's Thibault in a shooting guard. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. And the movement to bring the NBA back to Seattle, the Pacific Northwest. Brent, you played there half a decade. I know you've got fond memories. How much does that city love the NBA?
The Seattle fans are incredible, and I don't know how much,
knowledgeable.
Yes, and how much longer do we have to keep talking about how we want a team in Seattle?
One of the great cities in this country.
A fantastic place to play, to live, and the city is starved to get the Sonics back up there in the green and gold.
And they'll support them.
Oh, there's no question about it. So the time is ticking, and everybody's excited about the opportunity in the near future for the team to return.
First free throw is good.
And a power forward in college. Robertson's been working on increasing his shooting range ever since he entered the league.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. And for the Thunder, a lot of the assistant coaches leaving this past summer. Greg, how much of a concern is that for head coach Billy Donovan?
Possibly a sign that Donovan could be on the hot seat in OKC. I mean, 3 consecutive first-round exits. Donovan on the final year of his deal. The clock is definitely ticking. Well, what's not to like about Joel Embiid? A physical specimen at over 7 feet tall, all the skill in the world, and a personality made for stardom.
And the first one at the line is good. You talk about Embiid's personality, whether it's on the court or through social media. Greg, he's not shy speaking his mind.
One of the best trash talkers in the league. He doesn't hold back, but it's never personal. He's embracing the spirit of competition.
And after he missed the first 2 seasons of his career, Greg, with a broken bone in his foot, would injuries be your main concern for Joel Embiid?
Look, no doubt about it. As long as he's healthy, he's an all-league performer. Still, 7-footers carry a lot of weight in our league. He wants to prove he can play big minutes. They just got to make sure they protect him.
Clock at 2. And yes, it's good. 9 points for Dennis Schroeder.
And Schroeder continuing to build his confidence, shooting the ball from the perimeter. I'd like to see him square up and sink those Jays.
Simmons dishes to O'Quinn. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got assist number 7 for him tonight.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
Yeah, feels like Christmas right now, just gift wrapping points.
Now here's Robertson. And Adams kicks it over to Schroeder. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Well, if you read the scouting report on Schroeder, he likes to get into the basket as close as possible because he's usually good from there.
Here's Thibault. Here's O'Quinn, and the bank shot is good.
Excellent job of simply taking what the defense offered up.
Brent, a few players now host podcasts, participate with those elements, with those vehicles during the season. Any thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic for our fan base and for our players to have an outlet, to have conversations and share a little bit more about their personality. It grows them as people, I think, Kevin, especially I've listened to J.J. Redick's many times over,
yes.
And you learn something new, not only about players, but about their interests and how they're spending time. And I think if you were a young player, let's say you were a high school senior and or you're a college player and you're listening to some of the things that guys are talking about in their experiences, I think it's invaluable for what it is that you don't know exists around the player in the NBA, and for you to start having considerations about how difficult the task is, how mentally taxing. So these things are great outlets for the players.
And the first one drops.
And one difference this half is that when they get to the line, they're converting.
Some changes for Philadelphia. Al Horford is checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. And Tobias Harris subbed in for Scott. Gallinari, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Paul comes in for Andre Robertson. No good on the second free throw. The Thunder have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Paul passes to Ferguson, and that one drops.
Unselfish play of Chris Paul there, has a knack for knowing when to get his guys when they're wide open.
The 76ers leading by 20. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Here's Embiid. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got his 8th assist in the game.
I love how Simmons sets the floor. So good at spotting his teammates for a high percentage shot.
Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Here's Thibault. And Paul pulls it down.
Well, there's more he could have done in this game for sure, but it hasn't kept them from pulling ahead.
Here's Schroeder. And it's Joel Embiid with the rebound. And Simmons has got the ball here for Philadelphia. Pass to Thibault. It's tipped. And it's out of bounds. The 76ers able to retain possession here. Josh Richardson's checked in for the 76ers. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Horford the pass to Embiid, and the dunk by Embiid.
Really as good as any passing big that we have in the NBA. Horford is a guy who can run an offense as a big.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Richardson against Paul. Lets it go from deep. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Harris passes to Richardson, and a slam dunk by Richardson.
I like to see Josh Richardson showing you he can get up and rattle the rim a little bit.
The Thunder shooting just 31% in the game. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Here's Schroeder from outside off the mark.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Paul with the steal. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Schroeder leading the charge.
You can see how Schroeder's eyes get big whenever he has a chance like that. Surprising from the point guard position.
Simmons against Paul. Down low, here's Harris. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Well, we knew that Tobias Harris would be one of the big names during free agency this past summer.
Wasn't a lot of speculation for him when free agency hit. Ends up staying with the Sixers, and I think it makes sense for both sides, and he fits nicely next to Embiid.
And he makes the first.
Well, you look at the career of Tobias Harris, and boy, he's bounced around a bit. Has never slowed his development or production, though. You put him anywhere, and he'll find a way to help his team.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Korkmaz comes in for Josh Richardson, and Raul Neto subbed in for Ben Simmons. And with Harris, he's been moved so many times. You know what, Greg? You forget he's still quite young.
Yeah, I mean, he really is just starting to enter what should be the prime of his career. Has improved every offseason and is a great rebounder and scorer.
Alec Burks checked in for Joel Embiid. Here's Paul. 5 on the clock. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot, and the shot goes in. That's 10 points for Steven Adams.
Can't talk enough about the subtleties in that setup right there. The assist, really the key to that entire sequence.
Harris outside. The 19-foot shot. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot.
This speaks to how confident Tobias Harris is in his offensive game, ready to shoot as soon as that ball reaches him.
Pass to Baisley. Here's Nader. You know, Brent, how candid can players be in their answers in the post-game interviews about what has happened or what they're feeling at that time? In other words, is there a danger to being too honest as a player?
There could be, Kevin. I mean, anytime you express some of your vulnerabilities, and if it's done at the right time, somebody's going to take advantage of it. What we've seen over the past couple years is, forget about when it is that the media is asking you questions. Most players are taking it to their social media accounts where they're able to get the message out without being baited by somebody with regards to a question. They can expound on whatever it is that they're feeling at that time. And that helps them to control the messaging a little bit more. And I think that trend is going to continue and continue to grow.
That's good from Harris.
Drafted 19th back in 2011 out of Tennessee. Tobias Harris came into the league very, very young. So his experience belying his age, and the improvement has been shown over the past couple years.
It's stolen by Harris. Burks on the wing to the inside and stolen by Diallo. Tipped away. Burks with the steal. Here's Neto. And it's Baisley with the rebound. Baisley's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Shot good by Diallo.
Changing ends quickly. He's rewarded with a high percentage look.
Yeah, the defense trying to do their best to slow him down, but when he gets room like that, you got to look out.
Pass to Korkmaz. Here's Horford. Misses off the left iron. Thunder have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the 4th, and even 50%. It's hauled in by Harris. Harris has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. There's the pass to Korkmaz. He kicks it to Burks. And how often do players argue calls knowing that they are in the wrong? They know they're going after something that was the correct call.
Let's just say often, Kevin. I mean, you just never, the whistle.
Are they thinking ahead in terms of saying?
I don't think so. It's emotional. It's just an emotional reaction. I mean, you're out there running around and doing what you do, and you get a whistle, you're going to react to that like, oh, I did something wrong. Why am I in the principal's office right now? I want to get my side out. I know you saw it. Everybody does.
That sounds like you may have done a lot of that.
I try to avoid that, Kevin. I quite
Did you? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't think that's healthy for you and your reputation.
Now here is Horford. Burks on the wing. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Yeah, easy call.
The first free throw is good, and the 76ers making a change here. O'Quinn's checked in. And Burks hits 2 free throws.
And this team will make you pay when they get chances at the free throw line. It's helped them pull ahead here today.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Muscala, the pass to Burton. Now here is Muscala. O'Quinn defending. And now a chance to see what's coming up for Philadelphia. On Thursday, they'll be matching up against Gordon Hayward and the Boston Celtics. And then on Saturday, they head out on the road and face the Mavericks in Dallas. That free throw, no good. Brent, when we talk about home court advantage, do you feel it's the same as it used to be? It has that same impact?
I do think it's still hugely important, Kevin. It's less important when there's a team that has been together for a long time and has proven that they can take their wares on the road and come home with a victory. But it absolutely gives you a level of comfort as a player to get into your routine, to be at a place that seems familiar. Something deep down psychologically helps every member of that team being at home.
The 76ers again can't hit it. And the foul on Alec Burks. That is his first foul of the game. Oklahoma City's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Here's Burton. Shot clock at 5. From 10 feet out, that one a little long.
And he looked like he rushed it a bit. The defense wasn't terrible, but still, he's got to knock that down.
Here's Harris. O'Quinn trying to free himself up, and the basket by Harris. Harris has got 9 points in the quarter. Here's Burton. Baseline jumper. It's hauled in by the 76ers. O'Quinn's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Here's Neto. He's guarded by Diallo. Pass to Harris. A lot of missing stats from the 60s and 70s, but if we could go back and look at those actual numbers, any players you think would really be catching our eye in terms of, wow, I didn't know that guy was that good, or he's better than I thought he was?
Well, don't we always look at the incredible, mind-boggling numbers of Wilt Chamberlain
yes,
and think, what was that guy doing?
Yeah.
And we don't even have half of it.
No.
So Wilt Chamberlain comes to mind first. What I think about Kevin when that question comes up is how many great players through the 70s and also really through the 80s, because the three-point line wasn't accentuated enough, missed the opportunity to be even greater scorers. I mean, Jerry West with a three-point line. And
you imagine that?
You got to be kidding me. So there's a lot of gap of those players, too, that also because of changes in rules and because the three-point line wasn't in, that we would be talking about in terms of nostalgia and their accomplishments with a much different voice.
Even someone as recent as Jordan, with the rules the way they are now.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
With the openness of the floor and what Michael could do, as if he wanted to prove he could do more.
Exactly.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Philadelphia.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so checking out their record tonight, that'll mark win number 32 overall.
And with this win, it gives them a sweep of the season series, even though it's just a brief two-gamer.
And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance, it was a big-time outing for Ben Simmons.
He affected the game so much with the way he was able to come out and get steals and extra possessions for his team.
That's pretty much the only way to keep him from taking advantage of you down low. You got to play tough, physical defense.
Here's Neto. Pass to Burks. Now here is Smith. Passes to Harris. 6 to shoot. The 76ers need to get off a shot. Burks can't get it to go. Diallo with it. So it's Philadelphia winning this one easily, and the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, Al. You guys do it as a five-man unit on the floor. How did you come together for this win?
Just taking good shots on offense, trying to, getting stops on defense. We challenged every shot. We just played hard tonight.
Great effort and a big win, Al. Congrats. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. So long and good night, everyone.